Hi everybody and welcome back to Brody's Chess on YouTube. Today we are going to do more of a fun video where you can kind of make your opinions while you're watching the video. So we're going to make an interview about 9 questions chess players all have an opinion on. So let's get started.
Okay, so I'm Brody's mom and I'm going to ask him each question. He's going to give his opinion and maybe he will elaborate on why he thinks what he thinks. So, question number 1. Who is the greatest chess player ever?
Magnus Carlsen.
Okay, so 60% of people who were polled for this said Magnus Carlsen. But why do you say Magnus?
Because he has had the highest rating and he has become a grandmaster at age 13 and other amazing records that he has.
And he's called the GOAT.
Yeah.
All right. When it comes to the minor pieces in chess, there's always a battle between the bishop and the knight. Which piece do you think is more valuable?
I pick bishop because they can go in long distances and they're very powerful in the end game, and they can cover long diagonals and they're very good in end games where you have open positions. But knights, I'm not saying knights are bad, but I think knights are better in closed positions where they can jump over pieces. But if you trade off your bishops, you'll be left with knights, and then it will take a while for them to get over to the king if it's running, because it can't go as many squares as a bishop or a rook or a bishop, long range pieces.
Okay. Someone actually in this article said the bishop is more important. It's the only piece that can hide from being too far away. Knights get attention. Bishops are silent assassins, like silent killers. They just come out of nowhere.
Especially if you put them on them, which is where you put them on the long diagonal, where the bishop is seeing more squares, and it could easily attack the rook, and it's just kind of hiding what they usually your castle, and that's one of the things that could happen if you play the King's Indian, which we have a video on. Your bishop hides, and then you could sneak and take that rook.
Okay.
That's why bishops are good, because they're good hiders also.
Good answer. Okay, so 2 of the most popular first moves in chess are e4 and d4. What do you prefer?
I like both, but it depends on what opener you play.
Mm-hmm.
So I really like the London system, which starts with d4. So I kind of like d4 a little bit more.
Mm-hmm.
But I also like to practice playing e4 stuff.
Okay.
And there's a lot of common responses for black to play, openers, the Caro-Kann, the French defense, King's Indian. And there's all good openers for e4, so I'm not saying e4 is bad. You can play lots of openers with white and black. And I just kind of like the London system. So like when I'm with white, I like that. And when I play with black, I play e5.
That's an interesting answer. So on chess.com, when they did the vote asking this question, guess how many people said e4 versus d4?
90%.
It was actually 50-50. People were tied in the vote. But the more interesting answers were for d4. People who picked d4 had more interesting explanations as to why they like that better.
There's also a lot more gambits.
Okay.
So that's where you like sacrifice a piece to get a winning advantage.
Mm-hmm.
But there's way more gambits with d4 than e4.
Okay.
That's also one of the reasons you might like d4 because you like gambits.
Okay. Next question. Do you think draw offers should be allowed? So in a game, if someone offers you a draw, do you think that should be allowed?
I don't think so, because like, let's say, like, it's kind of saying like, do you want to just like make the game equal? Like, when like someone has a winning advantage, like a draw, I think, in my opinion, is like when like you can't checkmate, like that's a draw.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't think
so if
you
someone
should be
is
allowed to
losing and
offer
they're
a
like,
draw.
please just let's do a draw.
Yeah.
That's a silly thing to do, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't think they should offers of draws.
And when they did this vote, 55% of people agreed with you and said that people should not be able to offer a draw.
Yeah.
Okay. In your opinion, what is the best time control? Bullet, which is 1 minute, blitz, which is 3 or 5 minutes, or rapid, let's say 10-minute or 30-minute.
30 minutes
So bullet,
classical. 30 minutes classical.
Here they're suggesting it falls under rapid, but let's just say bullet, blitz, or rapid. What do you prefer?
Rapid.
Yeah? Why?
For time control?
Yes. What is the best time control?
What do you mean by?
Like if you're playing one of those games, do you think to play a good game of chess, you need the most time, which is rapid, the middle amount of time, which is blitz, or the least amount of time, which is bullet?
Rapid.
Okay.
Because, let's say you played a bullet game. The biggest focus in bullet and blitz a little, and more of the common things that happen is winning on time.
Mm-hmm.
So in rapid, it's pretty rare to win on time.
Mm-hmm.
You usually checkmate. So and you have way more time to like make a move.
Yeah. So somebody commented 10 minutes rapid is the perfect amount. They said blitz is fun over learning. It's mostly just fun. You're not learning that much. Bullet is fun over practicality. And rapid is the right amount of fun and learning.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think.
Next question. Should a stalemate be considered a draw? So firstly, tell people what a stalemate is and then what a draw is.
A stalemate is when like there's like
you're not technically in checkmate.
Yeah, but you can't move.
But you have nowhere to go.
And like you can, it's usually with just a king, but you can have like pawns that can't move.
Right.
Because they're blocked by other pawns. And also it could happen like
Mm-hmm.
if like there was a piece and it was pinned.
Right.
So it couldn't move.
Okay.
And they weren't in check.
And a draw
is like when there's 2 kings on the board.
Okay.
And you can't checkmate.
So there isn't sufficient.
And like there's like not enough pieces to
Right.
checkmate.
Right.
Like it's not like if you have like a bunch of pieces, but like it's still possible to checkmate.
Mm-hmm.
Like that could happen with if you have 1 bishop, 1 knight, or 2 kings,
Mm-hmm.
or if you draw by agreement.
Right. And draw also can happen with the 50 move rule.
Yeah. So the 50 move rule is when you move 50 moves without moving a pawn and without there being any checks. And like in the middle of it, like you're not drawing
Okay.
or anything.
And then there's also the threefold. What's it called?
Threefold.
Yes.
Yeah. It's when like you move, like it's still a draw because like you move somewhere, they move somewhere, and like it's kind of like in a triangle or like formation where you like, let's say like you went around in a square, like every time you went around in that square, it would be one of the 3 folds.
Okay. So do you think a stalemate should be considered a draw? Someone here said, a stalemate being a draw is the worst outcome in chess, but it's better than the alternatives.
Yeah.
Someone else said, stalemate should be a win for the stalemated player, since the stalemate can only happen if the person to move doesn't give the opponent a square to reposition.
I think that should be the case.
Yeah, you agree with them?
Or you can make it, I kind of am on like both sides.
Mm-hmm.
Or like the player that like got the stalemate should get like a win.
Okay.
But like if you're playing online, but like not get like 20, like 10 points for winning. Like they may get like 2 points.
Okay.
Because like they stalemated, but like you still have enough pieces to checkmate. That's what I think.
That makes sense. Okay, next question. Do you prefer online or over the board chess?
I used to prefer over the board, but now I prefer online because it's not as stressful like looking at the person. You can just like, it's not like when you're in a tournament and like it's up to like everything to win and you're kind of like, it's a little bit like bigger of a space. So like it's harder for your eyes to see like the whole board, like the bishop, like looking at like the diagonal.
Mm-hmm.
Or like especially if you're playing like giant chess where like you're like there's like a big attack like from on the diagonals or something.
So people who were voting had very mixed results about this. Someone said over the board because it's fun to see your opponent's reaction. Someone said over the board because you get to meet people that way. Someone said online because he plays way too much online that he's pretty much forgotten how to do well over the board. And someone else said, if you're not really playing any tournaments in person, then why would you play over the board?
And also like if you kind of are like on like a weeknight and like you can't really go out, online's good. Like,
yes, that's
so you
true.
don't need to like find an opponent to play against like in your house.
Yes.
Or like somewhere, and then you need to like wait for them like
That's
to make
very
each
true.
move, and then like But like online, you can just like play and do other stuff.
Immediately.
Yeah.
And all different kinds of chess.
Yeah. And like you can do time limits so it's faster. Like if like let's say like you wanted to go to bed like in 10 minutes, you can do like blitz.
Exactly.
So like you save some time. Like
it is a lot more flexible.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you prefer open or closed positions? And you can give a brief explanation about what the difference is.
I think I prefer, it depends actually, which piece you have. So if you can remember what I said in the like first few questions of the video, that knights like closed positions and bishops like, knights like closed and bishops like open positions. Because knights can jump over pieces and bishops can see the long diagonals. So it depends kind of what piece you're better at controlling. So if you were better at controlling knights, you might say closed positions. If you're better at controlling bishops, you might say open positions. So I think I am better with closed positions because like it's usually with knights and like there's not as many blunders because it's closer together. It's not just like a long bishop thing.
That's exactly what someone said, that it is harder to make an obvious blunder if it's closed.
Like you can't just make like a queen blunder.
Right.
Like easily. You need to like actually like think about making a blunder kind of.
Okay, and the last question is dirty flagging a legitimate strategy? So do you know what dirty flagging is?
No.
So flagging in general
is when you lose on time.
Yeah. When you're dirty flagging, you are losing, but you start speeding up super fast just to win on time. So if someone is losing and
I get it.
Yeah. And they just quickly start moving around like crazy and they win on time, a lot of people say that should not count. Do you agree?
I think it should, cause like you played fair and square and like you won, like on time, and like you made that strategy. It's not just like you like looked at like Stockfish, like the best bot, like to look at moves. You just like made your own strategy of moving fast.
Okay.
And that usually you might see happen in bullet or blitz if you're on low time. So I think it should be allowed.
Most people did say it should be allowed because if you're playing against someone who is a good player, even if you're playing really fast, they still have the opportunity to put you in checkmate and they can still win.
Yeah.
So if they are a better chess player, they can still win even if you're trying to just win on time. Okay, so those were all of the questions that people have different opinions on. Let us know in the comments what you think about some of these, and stay tuned for our next video.
And don't forget to subscribe and like and share this video with your friends. Thanks for watching. Bye.
Bye.